I want to take a slight shift here, and I want to talk about scaling contact centers and what is the most important factors that you have to take into consideration when you're scaling your contact center?
Obviously, the forecasting piece. So where is the what is the driver of the additional volume coming in from? Is it coming in from a particular channel, voice, chat, web, email, text, carrier pigeon, whatever the case may be? What's going to be driving it? And is it something that marketing is driving? Or is it just, you got a great product out there and it went viral on TikTok, so now everybody wants it, as an example? A scaling piece, where's the volume coming from? Why is it going to be occurring? And the things that people are going to be interacting with your contact center in, are they what I would call tier one type of calls that could be handled through an AI bot, an AI front-ended on an AI agent, basically? Or are they things that you don't have to pay high prices for in the United States to do internally? Can you nearshore, offshore? In some of these markets, for instance, if you try to do everything internally, that's great, but you have attrition. You have other things to take into account where I've worked with contact centers that have had locations, partners in nearshore and offshore locations, and their attrition is a lot lower. And they're able to get 2 agents for the price of 1. And so if budget is consideration, then you really need to look at, where am I going to get the biggest bang for my buck? It could be a combination of AI agents aligned with live agents that are nearshore, offshore. And the BPO industry as a whole has historically had a bad rap. People think of BPOs sometimes as being in an offshore location, not getting the greatest customer service, language issues, accent issues, things like that. But in actuality, some of the best customer experiences that people can have are sometimes with these nearshore, offshore agents, because that agent wants to be there. They're focused on the job and they want to be part of a great organization that they don't necessarily have access to in their home country. And so BPOs, I think, are a great addition to a scaling strategy for an organization that is going to be experiencing some rapid growth. So have that. For me, I think that if a company is anticipating that you're going to have to increase significantly over the course of the next year or so, take a look at how AI fit into your culture and what you need to do. And that was along with change management. I bring an AI agent in. Guess what I can do with my existing internal team? I can have them work on more complex issues. I can scale them up. So that has to be part of the scaling strategy as well. Or what am I going to be offloading to either AI or to a BPO partner, either nearshore or offshore?
So let me reflect in and see if I get this right. I think your point of view is that in scaling organizations, one of the most important things that you can do is think about, because you're scaling, but you're managing costs, quality at the same time, that part of your strategic plan to scale should incorporate a BPO partner. And one of the things you said in there is they want that job. This job isn't their money like it is in the United States. This is their career. Yep. They take it very seriously. Also, my question is, what we were talking about earlier, this trusted advisor role. BPO partners work with lots of organizations. They see and learn best practices. They see what's working. They learn from their failures. They have insights into the market that you don't. Is that a takeaway? I'm just trying to think about, are you saying that BPO partners are a strategic part of the scaling and growth plan?
Yes, and they have to be. You don't want your BPO partner to be a vendor. You want them to be a partner. Okay. Because they're going to see things from a voice of the customer perspective that maybe your internal teams aren't seeing. And so you want them to be being a partner. Plus, from a redundancy standpoint, if I had a contact center in a coastal area and there was the high likelihood that I could be knocked out because of, let's say, a Cat 5 hurricane, or my agents would be impacted in their ability to connect up to the internet or whatever, why not have at least a footprint of redundancy in another geographical location that can support you and your customers? Because guess what? your customers are going to continue to call, your customers are going to continue to have expectations, and having as a scaling strategy, always be looking for geographical improvements that can be made to go ahead and make sure that your customers are always supported.